Okay, so we wanted to do a quick video today because at the time of recording, The Last of Us Part 2 is finally out tomorrow.
Tomorrow, so we've had our dispatch notification. We should be receiving it in the post. It'll be very exciting.
Me and Sam are massive The Last of Us fans. So we played the first one when it first came out in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
I remember playing it and I thought that it was going to be like... I distinctly remember telling you that I thought we were about to enter a gaming renaissance of storytelling in video games, because they had The Last of Us and BioShock Infinite, which there was a lot of hype for.
Yeah, but disappointing.
But this is it, because I finished The Last of Us and I was like really hyped for BioShock Infinite, and I was like, we're entering this new age. And then I played BioShock and I was like, the renaissance is alive. It's done.
You were mistaken.
What did you like? What did you like about The Last of Us, Sam?
The story.
You like the story? You like the characters?
I did. I didn't like how Ellie couldn't swim.
Why not? I thought that was a good...
Well, I liked it to begin with, but it got old real fast every time you had to pull a pallet over, and it's just like...
People go on about the pallets. There's not that many pallets. There's like 4 pallets tops in the whole game.
Really?
I think so. Yeah, I've been doing a replay. I'm at least halfway through, and I've only had, I think, 3 pallets so far. And I think...
Well, I think it gets old after the second.
I remember getting near the end of the game, and it was the last. It's the segment where you fight the infected people for the last time,
Mm-hmm.
and Ellie almost drowns, and Joel is like fighting off all these infected. It's all going mad. I remember thinking to myself that this game is only going to end one of 2 ways. It's either Joel's going to die, or Ellie's going to die, and I was very surprised when neither of those things happened, because I was like, we've just had a whole chapter which sort of teased that Joel might die, and then he didn't, so I was like pretty confident, well, he's going to die at the end of this.
Yeah.
And just when you get to the hospital and they tell Joel like, oh well, he is going to die after we do this operation, and it all just kicks off from there. Wasn't expecting it, and the ending completely subverted like how I thought. Because usually serious storytelling in games, the way they do that is with a character death. That's as much drama as you're going to get, really.
Yeah.
But the ending was just crazy.
But they did it at the start.
The death?
Yeah, they get you to love somebody and then instantly take them away.
That opening was nuts. I remember playing that. I was hyped for The Last of Us, and the first day it came out, and I played that introduction. I remember... I paused the game after it was finished, and I was like, I honestly had to let it soak in for a second. I was like, I was not ready for that. You know, I thought all that would come at the end. Crazy cool opening. That's one of the things I really want. That whole opening where you see Joel as the outbreak is all first starting. I don't think there's a game that's done that sort of thing better. They try it in Days Gone, and there's cutscenes of the opening outbreak. It's not as good. I would really like to see, depending on how Last of Us Part 2 goes, I'd really like to see some sort of expansion, or maybe even a third game where you play as Joel when things are only just starting to kick off.
Right, yeah, and see how like the outposts and everything was set up.
Because yeah, exactly. And one of the cool things about Joel is that I say cool things. Cool in a character perspective, not cool in terms of what he actually did, is it's heavily implied in the first game he was a hunter at some points.
Yeah.
And he's like, when you first fight the hunters, and Ellie's like, oh, what's with these assholes? And he's like, I've been on both sides of it. And it's like, that's such an interesting character. And I'd love to play that. I'd love to see, like, you know, that dark story of how he's killing innocent people for their shoes and shit. Yeah.
It's interesting as well because the society in the first Last of Us seems all set up, and although it's bad, they all seem sort of comfortable with the way it's run.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting to see that formed.
Yeah, I mean, they tease bits of it, like when you're in Pittsburgh, and you had like the military outpost set up, and then the people rebelled, and that's why Pittsburgh is run by the hunters. After they've strung up the fireflies and everything. What do you think about moving on from Joel and having Ellie as the main character in the new game?
I'm for it. I think it seems logical.
I was like, when a lot of people were like, oh, they can't make a sequel to Last of Us Part 2, I remember saying, like, they have to. I don't know if you think, like, the first story's perfect and there's nothing to add to it. With Ellie, who was, like, 14 in the first game, you've made... That's an origin story, is what that is. It's an origin story for what could be gaming's, like, greatest female character.
I think it would get old real fast when you started off the second one, it was Joel and Ellie, and it was that throughout the entire thing.
I could be wrong, but just like in the first game, they said you don't play as Ellie in the first game. They said that pre-release, and that was a lie because obviously you end up playing as Ellie in the winter of the first game. They've said in this game you don't play as Joel at all, and it's it's Ellie's story. And I mean, I'm not sure, but a little part of me is like, I wonder if he gets his own little chapter though. I wonder if there's a winter...
Like a flashback or something.
I wonder if there's just a winter chapter where you switch perspectives with Joel, because that would be a hype moment. That would be definitely a hype moment.
Have you been spoiled at all?
I hope not. I've read some things, but there's a lot of fake spoilers going around, and some of the stuff I read sounded a bit ridiculous, so I don't think I've been spoiled. What about you?
No. Nothing at all.
You've been lucky, truly blessed. I can't believe it's tomorrow, man. It's so many delays as well, and it's just... Oh.
It's going to be a whole weekend of not talking to each other.
Yeah, we've got a load of ready meals planned. Which we're not going to do anything but play The Last of Us. It's going to be friggin' great. See it?